What's up, y'all? Rich Slayton here. Today on the channel, we're going to look at 5 players who have yet to make the Clash Royale League monthly top 8 broadcast finals, but who I think have a very, very good shot of making the World Finals later this year. Of course, this list is not exhaustive. It's just 5 players who right now look to me like they have a really great chance, even though they haven't been on the show yet. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and of course, go ahead and use code RICH in the Supercell shop. Whatever game you're playing, Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, Brawl Stars, whatever it is, throw that code in the shop and help me out. We're going to look at my list in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at this quick video from one of my sponsors. What's up, y'all? Rich Slayton here, and if you're like me at all, you probably play a little bit of everything in your mobile gaming. Well, then here's a game for you. It's called DMEN the Defenders. DMEN features classical tower defense gameplay with tons of maps featuring tourist locations from around America. And if you zoom in close, you might chuckle a bit. So you play tower defense for a while and you go, okay, I want something different. Well, great, because it also has PvP mode where you compete against hundreds of servers from around the world who come together to fight in Asgard. So you get your tower defense fix, you get your PvP fix, and you also get that big rush of unlocking new cards. If you love that moment where the chest opens and you don't know what's going to happen, boom, they got that for you here as well. All of the gameplay here is driven by heroes from throughout history and mythology that you unlock and develop, get to know their skills and apply them in that perfect moment. Some of these heroes you might recognize a bit. Billy Kid, Ramses II, and of course the God of Thunder himself, Thor. And the game is always releasing new heroes. Just now, Justia, Dragoon, and the newest hero, Gluttony, all out for you to take into the arena. And I've got a special gift to get you started on your heroic journey. Use code DMENRich in the shop, and you will unlock a bunch of in-game currency to help with those upgrades, as well as a 5-star hero shard and a heroic summon to get you going towards building the best team to go battle in the arena. To get started, check out the link in the description there. You can download the game, and of course, don't forget to follow DMEN the Defenders on all social media. DMEN, let's go. May the joy be with you. All right, now let's go ahead and jump into the list. The 5 players who I'm picking right now as having a great shot at making the World Finals for CRL 2021. Of course, a lot of players can make it, but these are the 5 who right now stand out to me as having a great shot at making that championship event. First up on the list, and this guy should really be no surprise to anybody, number 1 on the ladder last season, number 1 on the ladder, also one more time this year. That's right, it's Aniban. Now I believe with 6 number 1 finishes overall in his Clash Royale career on ladder, which is pretty absolutely insanely nutty when you think about it, how often and how long he's been so good on ladder. But already this year, 2 number 1 finishes for the well-known Pekka player. But what's really great about what Aniban has done, not to mention, oh yeah, by the way, a number 7 finish as well, is that his last finish came with Ram Rider, came with a totally different deck. In a month where a lot of players struggled to adapt to the new meta, he didn't, and he came out with a number 1 finish. So Aniban, he might never make that top 8 monthly final, and he will still make the overall World Final based on his ladder finishes alone. Right now, of course, he's number 1 in the ladder finishes so far on the season, but when you look at the CRL standings, he's in the top 10 without making a monthly final. So I think he's not going to stop. Aniban is almost definitely going to be in World Finals. Coming up number 2 on this list, another guy who's having a really good season so far on ladder, but who hasn't done it quite yet on the back end, and that's Viper. Viper's known as a Hog Xe NATO 1-trick, throwing those rocket cycles out as well, but he's done 2 back-to-back top 3 finishes, number 1 in February, number 3 in March, and if you go back to December, put up a top 10 finish there as well with a number 6. So he's doing it pretty consistently. The big question is whether or not Viper can have that good push on the back end. Once we get into the actual bracket portion of it, can he get through all the way to the end? But right now, he's still, before, of course, the most recent ladder rankings come out, going into this March season, this March to April season, he's still in the top 20 without making those overall, without even making the top 32 on top of that. So Viper's doing very, very well. He's been quietly good for a long time, but he's another guy who seems like he's poised to potentially get in there without even making the end of those tournaments. Coming in at number 3, a one-season CRL veteran, and what a season it was. Went from being a 1v1 star into a 2v2 master, and that's Lucas. Lucas ended up 4th in the world at CRL World Finals last year with Pain Gaming, a big part of that due to his teammate Wallace, but more importantly, due to his adaptability. And that's the big thing I think that puts Lucas in the running here, is look at what he's done so far in ladder this year. 2nd place in January, 13th place in February, but then in March, when so many major pros struggled with the change in the meta, didn't even get top 100 finishes, he finished number 9th, even with this crazy E-Barbs insanity that was going on this month. That adaptability is really, really big for Aniban, and a big reason why he has a good shot. And we've talked about it before on broadcast. It feels like if you just get one finish where you make it onto that broadcast, you're probably going to be in. Well, Lucas already has a bunch of high ladder finishes, doesn't look like he's slowing down, and more likely than not, he will make that top 8 at least once through the remaining 6 monthly championships. So we'll see if he can do it, but most likely we'll be seeing him in December. And of course, this list has to include one player, the young Japanese star, one of the best in the world, maybe best in the world, of course, that's Moogie. Now, on this channel, we've gone back and forth, especially in streams, about whether it's Moogie or Ruben, best in the world, and right now, it might be neither of them with the way that Mohamed Light is playing, but Moogie is still an unbelievable world-class, top 5 on the planet player, no questions about it. What's he done so far this season? Number 4 on ladder in January, number 5 on ladder in February, and even with the crazy meta of March, made it to number 102 on ladder as well. You mix that in with great performances at the Bren Chong Cup, and of course at the Gems Partners Cup alongside KK. He's phenomenal. He's amazing. He's really, really good. He also missed one of his top 32 qualifiers because he overslept because of the time difference. So with Moogie, it's one of those things where the expectations are that we'll see you at World Finals. He should be there. There's no question that he shouldn't be there, right? He has to be there. It's a question really of burnout and, more importantly, getting enough sleep. And my final pick for this list might be my most controversial one, but it's one that I think I can justify here. And it's a player who isn't super famous, has never been in CRL before. 3 of the 4 players I mentioned so far already were on CRL teams. He's never had a huge profile, but he's always been very good. And I'm talking about one of the members of an underrated Clash Royale country, the Turkish squad, Furkan Arabasi. And by the way, I know I maybe am mispronouncing the second half of that name. It's something that casters talk about all the time because none of us actually know exactly how he wants that pronounced. So we'll just go with Furkan. And Furkan is an excellent player, a really, really good Royal Giant player specifically, who's very quietly but successfully started off a great campaign here in 2021. Now, when I say quietly, it's because his ladder finishes haven't been through the roof. He got number 8 in January, and then made 422 in February, and then a nice top 40 finish at 39th in March. But what's way more important about Furkan, what's going to probably get him, or makes him, let's put it this way, gives him a great shot at making that top 32, is what he's done in those bracket tournaments so far. We're 2 months in, and we all know the gauntlet that is the Swiss bracket. Twice now, he's made the top 32. He made top 32 in January, made top 24 in February. Twice now, he's worked his way through that. That's a hard enough accomplishment on its own. That shows how hard he's working and the effort he's putting in. So if he keeps on putting up good ladder performances and solid performances throughout those bracket tournaments, he has a good shot at making, if not the top 24 who automatically qualify for World Finals, which right now he has a pretty good shot at doing that overall, as he stands at 15th on the leaderboards, not counting this most recent ladder season. He has a good shot at making top 24, but if he doesn't, that top 32 with the wildcard spots, he has a good shot at making the wildcard as well, because he's already shown he can get through those grueling tournaments. So that's my 5th pick, sort of my wildcard pick here, and out of left center pick. And these picks don't mean, by the way, that I'm discounting the other players. If I left someone off this list, it's not a snub. It's not me going, oh, well, not that guy. These are just the guys who stand out to me right this second. And of course, after this next weekend, it might be a different list. And after the end of March, it might be a different list. But right now, these 5 guys seem to me like of the people who have not made that monthly final, they're the 5 who I think have the best shot or feel like they have the momentum and the rhythm to put them all the way through to Worlds. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. I'd be curious to see your feeling and your thoughts on all these players, on what you think that World Finals picture will look like. That's it for the list. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Let me know below if you have someone who you think needs to be on those lists. And again, we're not talking about Mini Minter or Mohamed Light or Morton or all the players who've already made top 8, the players outside of that. So let me know below if you think of somebody else. And of course, I already said subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, turn on the, use the, what is the thing, the code Rich in the shop, use that thing too. And I will see you this weekend for Clash Royale League March qualifiers. And as always, guys, don't forget to be excellent to each other.